When a business already shows up on Google Maps, the real question is no longer if it ranks, but how much territory it actually controls. In this case study, I want to show you how a commercial cleaning business in California went from solid visibility to near total dominance across the map, even against competitors with far more reviews and photos. And what makes this interesting is that the growth didn't come from doing more marketing, but from fixing how Google understood the business. This case is about iCleaning Services California, a commercial cleaning services company based in Corona, California. At the starting point, this wasn't a weak profile or a new listing. It had 59 Google reviews, 4.9 star rating, and it was targeting the keyword commercial cleaning services. The business was already active, already visible, but there was still a gap between appearing on the map and owning the map. So commercial cleaning is a highly competitive market in California. You're basically competing with established businesses, large operations, and even profiles with hundreds of reviews and extensive photo libraries. So some of the top competitors had more than 160 reviews, more than 300 photos, and similar star rating, 4.9, even 5. So in markets like this, many owners assume that rankings are mainly about review volume and brand size, but this case proved that assumption right. Okay, let's look at where iCleaning stood in mid-December. At that point, the business was averaging a 5.6 ranking on Google Maps and holding about 69% of the local market. It covered roughly 90% of the service area, meaning iCleaning appeared in most places, but not everywhere. So on the surface, that sounds acceptable, but when we look at how those rankings were distributed, the weaknesses become clear. Only just over half of the area ranked in the top 1 to 3 positions, nearly 30% of the map sat in mid-range rankings, and then 15% of the area either ranked poorly or didn't rank at all. So that kind of distribution creates instability. There were clear gaps where the business simply didn't appear, so visibility shifted depending on where the customer was searching from, and the performance wasn't consistent across the service area. This is usually where our businesses feel like Google is unpredictable, when in reality the problem is not the algorithm. Now let's compare that with the exact same grid less than 3 weeks later. By January 2nd, the average ranking had climbed to 2.7 and market share had expanded to 85%. Now they covered 100% of the service area, meaning iCleaning is appearing in every single grid point, no exceptions. But the real change was in dominance. Now more than 3/4 of the area is ranking on the top 1 to 3 positions. And then mid-range visibility dropped to just over 20%, and poor rankings were reduced to under 2%. So there were no zones left without visibility and no areas where the business disappeared. Here's where the story gets interesting. And this is a direct comparison between iCleaning Services with 59 reviews and 63 photos and a major competitor with 166 reviews and 317 photos. So despite the gap, we have higher average ranking, larger market share, a stronger map presence, and number 1 position in local results. This clearly shows that Google Map rankings are not decided by volume alone, they are decided by structure, relevance, and how signals work together. This is something we see often when working with established local businesses. The limitation usually isn't effort or investment, it is that Google doesn't fully understand where and how strongly the business should be shown. So once that structure is corrected, the business stops chasing rankings and starts occupying space. So today, iCleaning Services California has a clear positional advantage on Google Maps. Visibility is consistent, coverage is complete, and rankings no longer fluctuate by location. If your business already receives calls and competes on Google Maps, and you feel like you could be dominating a much larger area, there is a good chance these same issues quietly costing you opportunities.